welcome back to Art Therapy with Jen. Today I'm working in my Dark Dystopian themed magazine collage art journal. And if this is your first time tuning in to this series on my channel, each week I do a page in the journal, which is a different chapter exploring this dark dystopian world. And this week's video, we're going to be doing chapter 16. I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. And we kind of do a little bit of, I don't know what you want to call it, imagination exercise, storytelling exercise, where we look at the images on the page and kind of see what it's trying to tell us about this world. Is it a story that fits in with the other pages? Is it its own story? Is it just some cool looking images? I don't know. There is no right or wrong answers, but we just have a lot of fun with it. And as you see there, I am flipping through, showing the chapters that we've created so far. If you would like to see the other pages, I do have a playlist on my channel as well as linked down below where you can watch it from the beginning, including the intro video. You can watch them in order or not, whatever you like. So they're out there just if you want to watch them. And I thought I would show this part. So I start with my backgrounds, and I've gone through my little stash of images that I've kind of put in this folder for this journal, and I just go through all of them in my little background folder, and I just kind of pull out anything that is just telling me it needs to be on a page today. I wish I could tell you I had more technical things, but I really just kind of go by intuition and, just glue stuff down. So I like to have a show on or some good music, and I set everything around my little composition notebook journal here, and I just pull and just kind of go with it. And the first things that really spoke to me were these images of the cars. It just is so crazy to me. Now, I live out in the middle of nowhere where there's not a lot of cars like this. I have lived in kind of metropolitan areas before, but this type of image with these bumper-to-bumper cars and all this bustling going on in the sidewalks and everything, it's quite otherworldly to me. So it's another thing about this journal. Everybody's viewpoints are going to be different based on your, where you're coming from, your setting, what your experiences are in life. And I always find it really interesting to see all the different ideas, because I know that I have kind of changed what I see in the story based on what other people say, and y'all give me so much inspiration. Again, I'm just going around and putting stuff there, and most of the time I don't even really care what the image is. I'm kind of looking at the different colors and the textures. And this one, I'm using a lot of these little scraps. I like to tear the edges of my images a lot, and sometimes I hold on to those scraps. I have like a whole jar full of those. I don't know why. Sometimes I keep them, sometimes I don't, but we just go with it. And so I've used the cars. I have that image with that smoke, and that was actually from an ad from a charcoal grill. I got these images of these like rusty car axle things. I'm not sure. I don't know much about cars, but I do have people save magazines for me, and a couple men that I know save these magazines they get that have like car stuff in them, and flip through those because you just never know what you'll find in a magazine. That's one of the fun parts about doing a magazine collage or glue booking or whatever you'd like to call it. It's part of that treasure hunt, because you can open any kind of magazine and it is untelling what fun things are hiding in there. You just never know. And like I said, I don't know a lick about cars in that way. I know how to drive one, that's about it. But I was just really drawn to these like pictures of engines and the undercarriage part. If you know about cars, please forgive me. But it was just something I found was interesting. And then we have the cars up top. And then what I really had speaking to me that day, there was this neat image of the city, but it's like under a dome or a bubble. Like, how neat is that? I think it was just something somebody rendered in Photoshop or something and put in a magazine, but my goodness, all kinds of stories can happen from that. And of course, I got a fool with it. I kind of set it on there and I try to see, do I want smooth edges? Do I want ripped edges? So I kind of went with both. And for this, I am putting it across the spine or the middle of the page. And there is no right or wrong way to do this. I chose to cut it in half. It really depends, at least for me, how chunky the book is, kind of where the spine is, if you want to go across there or tuck it in. It's really just preference. And with me, I didn't want to add any bulk to it, and I don't think it deterred from the image to cut it in half. Especially at this point, I'm about 3/4 done with this book right now, and it's getting kind of chunky, and I would really have to cram that in the spine. So I just cut it in half, and yeah, I just laid it across the spine, took my fingernail to score it, and that's where I cut. And then I had these little sail looking things. I'm not sure what to call them. The color didn't match at all, but something told me they needed to go on that page. So we're putting them on there. We just go with what the images tell us. So let's take a look at what the background's looking like. Oh, I am digging it. I love the smoke, the city, and the bubble. I'm really curious to see where this goes. So now I'm going to add my people, my characters. And I pulled out my folder and I went through the stash, and these two girls were speaking to me. And they're very different, aren't they? And so I decided I really like the background that I have going, so I'm going to fussy cut the full out of these images because I don't want any type of border around them. I want them to really meld with that background. So I've just gone through and cut every little thing out. I typically don't do that until I'm getting ready to use images, especially like with the girl in the red on the right. All these little intricate cuts with her fingers and stuff, but I just know it's not going to look how I'm needing it to look unless I go in there and cut it. So I wait till the very last minute, like, are you sure you're going to use this image today? And then I go in and cut it out, and I'm glad I did. And I had to really smooth that out just really gingerly because I will tell y'all so many times in the past where, she has her hands and her fingers there and the magazine's slightly wet from that glue. It's so easy to just tear that paper and then you're kind of running trying to piece it back together. But all was good today. So that's what it's looking like with the characters. Oh my goodness. This might be one of my favorite ones that I've done in a very long time. I was almost hesitant to add words to it. I was almost just gonna just leave it the way it is. I just love them on either side of the city there and just but we're gonna add some words because I found some I thought that added an interesting narrative. So to the left, and it's in quotes, says, I got to go to a place that I hadn't been before and that changed me, That's interesting. And again, with the words here, just like with the people, I wanted to have as much of that background show through as possible. So I went in there and I cut as close to the words as possible. Well, I guess I could have even cut the space out in between the words and, put the lines down individual. But I cut quite a bit of that white space off. And then on the left, a little underneath that I'm about to put down, it says, I feared she'd feel something. This woman already drowning in sadness. I was right. And then to the upper right, on top of those cellular looking things, it says, behind every beautiful space is a master. And then we're going to finish the words off on the bottom right, on top of the girl in red. It says, forget everything you thought you knew. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Is this our girl that's been appearing in other pages? Are they all separate girls? Like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. I'm always curious. and we'll take a closer look there. I'll tell y'all what I'm kind of feeling with this, and I had started this book so far, if you follow me the whole way, with this girl that is kind of the good guy. She's kind of wanting to rebel against all these things that are going on, but as we go through, I've kind of changed my mind on which side that she is on. I think she might be the mastermind of it all. She got her golden ticket, and she really went to town with it. I don't know. What do y'all think? And I just took a Sharpie and I colored in that spine that was showing through in the middle. And now I have this paint pen. This is a Faber, I guess you say it, Castell Pitt pen, Pitt. I don't know. I bought it a long time ago, and it is still going. And it's just a white paint pen, similar to like the Posca pens. And I'm just putting a little bit down, and before it dries, I'm like smearing it across with my finger to almost give these little smoke wisp, or these, mystical mist, to kind of play off that smoke we have from the background from that grill image. And I don't know, I just wanted to make the city a little more eerie and give it like this smoke, almost like a mist that comes off a dry ice, if you will, but more magical and sci-fi and dystopian. And then I'm just taking a black gel pen that I had sitting over here. It's the one I use for my planners, actually. And I'm just doing a very sketch, like I'm not outlining her precisely. I'm just really, really sketching and putting just all this kind of rough lines around her to kind of denote some type of energy coming off. And then I'm just going to sign it and date it. And yeah, here is the finished image. What do y'all think? What should I call it? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I have to really think about it. Like, this page, it's one of my favorite pages that I've done visually, and I'm not quite sure the story. Like I said, I am getting that vibe that I think this is the person that is behind everything. And we saw a few chapters back, this person that got a golden ticket out of where she was, and perhaps she became the true mastermind, the true villain, if you will, behind everything. And she's not the one you would expect. I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? As always, I may change my mind, or may get some really good narratives in the comments. I don't know. But I had a lot of fun with it. Again, thank y'all so much for watching. It is October 30th as I'm filming this right now, and as I finish this page this morning. So if y'all are doing anything fun for Halloween, I hope y'all have a blast. Me, I'm going to be doing exciting things at home, doing chores and trying to play catch up. But yeah, I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. Thank y'all for tuning in to my series again with me. I really appreciate it. And I will see y'all soon with another art video. Bye, guys.